If you've been wondering what's the deal with Wave's new plugin called CLA EchoSphere, this video is for you. I'm going to show you what it sounds like on 3 different styles of music, including hip-hop, really aggressive metal track with a lot of like really deep guttural screaming, and then also a really catchy pop-punk song that's fast, just to showcase the versatility that this plugin has. This video is also going to walk you through all the different features of the plugin and show you how to dial it in for those 3 different styles of music. My name is Bobby Balo. I'm the mixing and mastering engineer at Raytown Productions, and I put out videos every single week to help you make better sounding music. So if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. All right, so here's the interface. We have 2 controls. We have a slap delay, and we have a plate reverb built into the same unit. Okay, so the manual says we adjust the input gain so that this is like a green, occasionally hitting yellow and red is cool. And then we have 2 independent controls over the slap delay and the plate reverb. These are just high and low pass filters, which is going to be very important to making sure that we filter out a lot of that low energy out of this metal vocal. Otherwise, it's going to get muddy really fast. And also, you can use that to dial in more of like a telephone effect. The plate reverb, same thing. We have high and low pass filters. We can solo it. And then when you click on the channel, you have a bunch more options. The timing is really, really nice. It's linked up to the tape speed delays. So if you're familiar with that kind of tape delay, you can select if you want 30 IPS, 15, or 7.5. If you're not, that's not cool, you want to just sync it up right to your session, you can turn on sync, and they have a ton of different settings that you can use that automatically calculate the right delay timing for your track. So that's pretty awesome too. I think for this type of effect with a metal song, we're not going to really sync the delay. We want it to just give the vocals some weight. This is a cool feature. On the routing, you can activate the plate button, and what that does is that sends the slap delay into the plate reverb in a serial fashion, meaning you're feeding the reverb with the delay signal. Okay, and what that does is that smooths out those delay repeats, so it's harder to hear. The other thing you can do is turn on and off this output knob, and this basically is bypassing the plate. So this is the slap delay. So if you only want a really smooth, diffused sound, you can just leave the plate activated, and so then your slap delay goes right into your reverb. Pretty awesome. Or you can get rid of the plate and just have it be dry without any plate sound. If we go to the plate tab, we have more options. We can set the pre-delay, reverb times. RT low is basically like the decay time of the low frequencies. RT high is going to be the decay time of the high frequencies. So if you want your tails to sound less muddy, you're going to want to have a lower RT time here. If you want to have it stay really bass heavy, like if for like an impact or something, crank this up a little bit more, and it's going to make that bass rumble a lot longer. And at that point, you just have your dry wet knob. All right, so this first track is by a band called Venom in Spirit, and this track is called Meditative Hades. It's a very aggressive, fast metal song with deep guttural screams, and usually delays and reverbs aren't a great idea for metal vocals because it can push the vocalist back too far. So I'm really curious to see how CLA EchoSphere can hold up in something like this. So let me give you a little sample of this track. So it's pretty metal, man. These vocals are totally dry. All right, so let's load up CLA EchoSphere. Okay, let's turn this bad boy on. All right, so here it is right out of the gate. Default factory setting. I'm curious to hear how it sounds. Bypass. It's pretty cool. It made the vocals super wide sounding. Let's hear it in context. Way too much. But if we just dial this back. It sounds pretty good. All right, bring it back in context. I'm gonna loop a section, and then we're gonna take this in and out. Man, it's cool. It's tricky to get a slap delay to sound good, and I think it just makes it super easy. All right, so this track is a pop punk track by a band called Deer Spring out of the Washington, D.C. area. I mixed this song, and I had to set up probably like 7 or 8 different reverb and delay sends to really make the vocals sit. There's a lot of long notes, short notes, there's some screaming, and so there's a lot of diversity here. I've already gone through and muted all of my delays and reverb, so we just have a dry vocal. Let me just give you a little sample of this track. Let's listen to the vocals totally dry.
You made what you said when you put it all in place. I never said I'd stick around.
So that's what we have to work with. It sounds pretty good in the mix, but we definitely are going to need some sort of delays and reverbs just to make the vocals have a big enough presence to stand up against all these guitars and drums. All right, so let's load in the EchoSphere here. Okay, so let's hear how it sounds just by itself. Man, it's so thick in context. I would say we have a little bit too much, so I would personally probably dial this back to like 30%. Let's see how that sounds. Sounds good. This is a home run. For pop punk and fast stuff, it's really nice to have a slap delay in there because it gives the vocals a little bit of thickness to hold up. And then that plate reverb just gives the vocals the space it needs to sound massive and keep up with everything else. I think the delay setting sounds really good. Maybe we could synchronize it to an 8th note, but that 15 IPS setting just sounded really good in the mix. But I do like the 8th note sync. I think that just helps to reinforce the beat because it's a kind of a fast song. Without it, see how small the vocals get when we bypass it without the delay and the reverb? So some things that I'm really liking about this is the simplicity of this plugin. Like I mentioned earlier, I have like 5 or 6 sends that I have to set up, and if I want to feed in a slap delay into a reverb, I have to go through and add a new channel and put everything serial, whereas this plugin, you can just hit the, this plate button, and now you're feeding the reverb with your slap delay. So then you get a very smooth sound to it. Yeah, this is basically everything I would need on this track. You could just do like 2 instances of this, one on the main vocal, maybe something a little bit longer on the background vocals, and you'd be all set. All right, and so this was the setting I ended up choosing for this track. All right, and so the last track I have today is a hip-hop track. It's got an old school kind of vibe to it. So it's a simplistic beat, very vocal driven song, a lot of space. So let's see how this stacks up.
They gon' pull you over, they gon' tell you freeze, they gon' wanna search, they gon' smell some weed, and you don't even smoke. Treat you like you GD, they keep calling you folk, keep calling you crip. You just wanna be a teacher, cause you loving the kids. You never.
So that is the vocals completely dry in the mix. Load up the default setting. So something like this track, we want to add a little bit of ambience, but we don't want it to be like over the top like that pop punk song that we just did. So this is just something to give the vocals a little bit of space, a little bit of realism, and then also thicken them up. So let's see what we can do.
You never hated no cop, you never called him no pig.
So let's just jump through the presets because I haven't done that yet. There's a lot of really good presets on here. Okay, so these are the ones by CLA. All right, let's just jump through and see if we find something that resonates with us.
They gon' pull you over. They gon' tell
a little
you
bit
freeze.
too much.
They gon' wanna search. They gon' smell some weed, and you don't even smoke. Treat you like you GD. They keep calling you folk, keep calling you crip. You just wanna be a teacher, cause you loving the kids. You never hated no cop. You never called them no pig. They gon' pull you over. They gon' tell you freeze. They gon' wanna search.
Wow, that one's pretty psychedelic.
They gon' smell some weed, and you don't even smoke. Treat you like you GD, they keep calling you folk, keep calling you crip. You just wanna be a teacher, cause you loving the kids. You never hated no cop, you never call them no pig. They gon' pull you over, they gon' tell you free.
So this is actually something closer to what I was imagining would be the sound for this track. So let's dive in, let's just listen to just the vocal.
They gon' wanna search, they gon' smell some weed, and you don't even smoke. Treat you like you GD, they keep calling you folk, keep calling you crip.
All right, so the delay's a little bit too loud, so let's go into the slap. Let's pull down the feedback. I think it repeats too many times.
You just want to be a teacher, cause you loving the kids. You never hated no.
You hear how much it smooths out that slap delay if we put on the plate setting? So that, again, that takes that delay signal and kind of blends it with the plate reverb.
Hated no cop. You never call them no pig. They go pull.
I like that. I think that's something we need to keep for this track.
They gon' pull you over. They gon' tell you freeze. They gon' wanna search.
And let's try a little bit with this. We'll turn this up to ×4. So this is just the decay of the high frequencies. It's gonna get brighter over time.
They gon' pull you over. They gon' tell you freeze.
All right, so let's just listen to the overall sound and see if it works for this track.
Hated no cop. You never call them no pig. They gon' pull you over. They gon' tell you freeze.
So again, I'm just gonna get rid of some of these lows. I feel like it's building up a little bit too much.
They gon' wanna search. They gon' smell some weed, and you don't even smoke.
So if we bring this down and actually blend it in with the mix, it might sound really nice.
They gon' pull you over. They gon' tell you freeze. They gon' wanna search. They gon' smell some weed.
Listen to it in context of the song.
Smell some weed, and you don't even smoke. Treat you like you GD, they keep calling you folk, keep calling you crip. You just wanna be a teacher, cause you loving the kids. You never hated no cop. You never.
I love how this sounds. Let me bypass it for you.
They gon' pull you over.
Without it.
Tell you freeze. They gon' wanna search. They gon' smell some weed.
With
you
it.
Don't even smoke. Treat you like you GD, they keep calling you folk, keep
Without.
calling you crip. You just wanna be a teacher, cause you loving the kids. You never hated no cop. You never.
Let me just show you just with the vocals by themselves.
They gon' pull you over. They gon' tell you freeze. They gon' wanna search. They gon' smell some weed, and you don't even smoke. Treat you like you GD, they keep calling you folk. You just wanna be a teacher, cause you loving the kids. You never hated no cop. They gon' pull you over. They gon' tell you freeze.
This is the exact sound I'm going for.
They gon' pull you over. They gon' tell you freeze. They gon'
And then that reverb tail kind of swings in at the end to give the vocals a sense of space, right?
you crip. You just wanna be a teacher, cause you loving the kids. You never hated no cop.
But man, you can really see like when you bypass this plugin before and after, as we're playing it, the vocals go from big to small and tiny to big to small and tiny. This, I think, is going to be a plugin that I'm going to be reaching for quite a bit in my mixes. So I hope this video showcased some of the cool features that are in EchoSphere by Waves. Let me know in the comments what kind of delays you guys are using. I'm very curious. Slapback delays are really tricky to get right, so I want to know how you guys are doing it. If you made it this far, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I put out new videos every single week on my latest tips and tricks to help you get a better sounding mix out of your home studio. I have a Facebook community. If you didn't know about it, it's called the Home Studio Fast Track. Be sure to check that out. There's a link in the description. There's a lot of really, really talented producers and music creators in that group, and it's a great place to check out if you're trying to make your music sound better. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.